a really good comedy. The script is very funny.
I was laughing all the way through it.
That's a bit of an adventure. It's really fun.
It's a small story in a small town, but it deals with all the issues that we deal with every day.
I'm a huge fan of the Western genre, although I thought I was a big fan, but every day somebody comes up to me and says, well, have you seen this film? The horse, the man, the seagull, and all the wonder.
I always wanted to be a cowboy. It's like gritty, like gunslinger. Nobody showers or cares about anybody. They just smoke cigars and shoot guys, and then drink whiskey and play poker and shoot guys.
You have to act with where you're at and what you're doing, and the sand and the dirt and the dust that gets in every pore of your body. So, yeah, this feels like a Western.
It's the first scene we did here. I'm driving this cart with my mule, my big hairy ass. And then I look over to the left, and there's this huge, enormous piece of tree. And there on top of it is Michael Eklund playing Larry. Afternoon, Larry! Paul and I looked over and we were like, wait, is that Larry's stump? It's like the size of a house. I mean, you could live in it. I think that was the moment of Bill Phillips' genius.
Make my day today. Make a movie.
Another thing that I thought was pretty interesting, not all Westerns have this, but this one, I think, very fittingly has some romance that my character is involved with.
Why, thank you for inviting us, Jonathan.
Us. There's the triangle between the kid, Miss Jane Taylor, and Corporal Kent. Unfortunately, Kent doesn't get the girl that he wants at the end. But there is a budding romance between Kent and the school teacher, which is pretty sweet because she's also beautiful and blonde, which is apparently what Kent goes for. It's probably the uniform, though, I'm not gonna lie. It's probably this uniform.
I don't think I've ever directed as long a kissing scene as that before, as the one that is in Gunless.
I think it's best that you yield and take it like a man.
Usually in a scene, people kind of finish. They finish the moment. You can tell by a turn of the head, or someone's head goes down, or they exit, or there's something about the scene that you know, okay, I know that's the cut point. It's a big kiss, and it goes on for a while. I would look at my monitor and think, are they done? Do I call cut now? Maybe I'll let them go for another moment or two. Okay, now it's getting long. It's getting uncomfortable for me. Something's got to... Oh, cut. I'd never called cut in the middle of a kissing scene before, so it was something new for me.
Yeah. Can you do anything to get rid of it?
You have to bow to the absurd.
I think the crew is really bonded together well. There's been a real sense of fun, and I think it's often reflected in little quirky things that come up on set. What do you say, man?
Well, soon I'm going to say no camera.
What's wrong with you?
Michael, you come out and give your mom and dad a hug, okay? Because your dog's dead.
Oh my God, help me. He's crazy.
Although this is a good long-range weapon, these are my friends. Anyway, this is a good thing for editing.
You know, people talk about method acting. Here's a method. Grow this.
Dustin's mustache. Oh, bless him.
It's interesting, you know, because a lot of people, they talk about growing facial hair, but it's all talk. You know, the reactions have been varied. Some people like it. Some people are afraid of it. Some people envy it, which I think is actually the majority of the people envy highly the mustache.
How does mustache look like to me? Like it was on upside down.
Working with Paul and Graham, I don't know if you've seen their faces, but there's no facial hair on their upper lip, which in the acting circle is known as the power lip. Their upper lips are like children's lips.
He's very serious about it, but he kind of looks like some kind of 70s like cop or something.
It's such a wild, organic beast. I don't want to say luscious, but I will say luscious because it is luscious.
But he's very proud of it, and so he should be.
I might just grow another one someday soon, and that's gonna be a great day.
Really big scene coming up. My triceps must be huge. Bigger than Paul Gross's.
Feel the burn.
Michael Eklund is a really fantastic actor, but he's a disaster zone. Wherever he goes, something horrible happens. You don't want to be near Michael too often. He cut his foot open with an axe. He almost got his toe off. Do not give him a rubber axe down here on it.
I'm about to cry.
All right, drum roll, please. Oh! That's real.
I think we might have to cut the whole thing off.
Yeah.
That'll be fun to watch.
We'll try to make sure they save these 4 toes, though. That's enough.
Yeah.
4 out of 5, that's 80%.
It was gruesome. I was rushed off to the hospital and they reattached the toe and everything's okay.
Therefore, taking mercy on you.
There you go, like when you're done.
Lovely fellow, but it's a mystery as to why he's still alive.
Well, I don't know if you can see, there's a tiny brown speck behind me, and that is in fact a bear. I would wager it is a brown bear, judging by the color of the speck behind me. Afraid of a bear? No. No.
I'm not the trainer, but I can talk a little bit about acting with moths. There's tricks to working with them. You glued them to hair? That's insane. That's so wild. It's tough. You know, you don't want to be around an open flame. How'd the moth do? Maybe he's trying to pretend like if he doesn't move, maybe it'll be better. You don't want to be doing anything with a moth in a cedar closet. They freak. But if you treat them well, they give. Make strong choices. A good actor.
Cut.
That was great.
That was great. It's like it's going away like a heart.
The first time I saw her feeding those large beasts hay was the first time I became a man, the first time I fell in love. It was because of how she handled those gentle giants with her dainty, beautiful hands that I realized that there is something more than growing facial hair, than fighting battles with guns. It's just all about you know, the first time I saw him in that furry wool coat,
I hope this film, you know, has a great long life. I hope a lot of people get out there and see it. But more importantly, you know, I hope it finds its place in the Western genre. People talk about Westerns, you know, after they've mentioned this Western, that Western, that they also say, oh, have you seen Gunless? It's a Canadian Western. It's really cool.
You know, I just wrapped like a few minutes ago, and I don't want to leave. It's been soulful and fun.
We would have never been able to make this movie in the time that we did had we not had such an incredible crew that worked together so flawlessly.
a reminder of how much fun and how at home I feel working in Canada, again, on an entirely Canadian production like this.
One of the great privileges of working on movies, particularly in our own movies in Canada, is you get to have an intimate acquaintanceship with an area that you're in. And it never ceases to stagger me how beautiful this country is and how lucky I've been to be born in it.
it.